without further ado, let's get going, ladies. So as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a lot of standing yoga poses today. So I would have you begin in a standing position, and if you have some hand weights, you might want to grab them. Those are just strictly optional if you want to make things a little more challenging today. I might add them into 1 or 2 things. Today I have 3 pounds. You might just want to add 1 pound in, maybe up to 5 or 8 pounds. Of course, it's up to you. The heavier the weights, the more intense it will be. So we're going to begin with a little abdominal, warming up of the abdominals, and then also a little stretching. So let's start with some scoops. Bring your feet hip width apart or even a little wider if you need a little extra support, a bigger base. And then on your next inhale, extend your left arm up towards the ceiling, right arm down towards the ground. Our intention here is to get a nice stretch in our left side body. Look down at the mat or up at the ceiling, depending on what feels best on your neck. Belly button pulls into your spine, soft knees. Then on your next inhale, switch. Right arm up, left arm down. Check in with your neck, your knees, and your belly button. One more breath here. Really lengthen your arms in opposite directions. Get that stretch. Then on your next inhale, hands together, really soft knees. And on an exhale, circle. Belly button pulls back as you circle around. Inhale on the way up. Exhale, circle. Let's do that one more time each way. As you can probably feel, this is awesome to loosen up your lower back. It's also a great way to warm up your abs. Let's do that whole series one more time. Left arm up, right arm down. Look down or up. Strong core, soft knees. Breathe. On your next inhale, switch. Right arm up, left arm down. Again, soft knees, strong core, belly button to your spine. Deep breaths. Hands up on your next inhale. Circle. Really bend your knees as you do these circles. Pull your belly button up, or back, I should say, as your arms reach forward. One more set. The bigger the circle, the more challenging it is to balance, and the bigger stretch you'll get. So you decide your range of motion. Nicely done. Then bring your hands into high prayer. That just means palms together. Pull them down into heart center, so your thumbs are at your sternum. Close your eyes for a second. If you feel like kind of all of your energy is up here analyzing things from your day, that's totally normal. But see if you can instead just feel your body, kind of drop your awareness from your head to all that, from all that stress to your solar plexus here, your belly. If you need to actually touch your belly, sometimes that helps. Take a deep breath. Just give yourself permission to take this time for yourself. And if there's anything you really want to focus on today, maybe it's your breathing, maybe it's catching yourself when you say not so nice things in your head about yourself and switching that, kind words. So if there's anything you want to focus on, just get clear on it here, set the intention. If not, no worries. Either way, take one more last big breath before you blink your eyes open. Then look down at your feet. Toe heel your feet together so your big toes are touching, but your heels are about 2 inches apart. That means the outsides of your feet are parallel, going straight forward. Squeeze your knees. It's going to fire up your inner thighs. Squat down. We're moving right into chair. So we're going to warm up our big muscle groups, our glutes, hamstrings, and so on and so forth. So with chair, as you may or may not know, the further you squat down, so let me turn and give you a different angle. The further you squat down, the more intense this one becomes. So you decide what you need today. If you need to take a break at any point, super easy. Just stand, shake it out, re-squat when you're ready. Now as you're holding in chair pose, regardless of how deep you're going into this posture, make sure you can see your big toes and you can wiggle them. So in other words, we want our body weight in our heels, not our toes. That's going to strengthen and tone these muscles instead of putting pressure on our knees. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Belly button to your spine. Do a little tilt of the pelvis so that you don't have a big sway in your lower back. Instead, you're locked up here, engaging your abs instead of putting pressure on your lower back. Hang on if you can for 3. Sit down and back. 2. Nicely done. Stand. Shake it out. A couple big shoulder rolls. Bring your feet hip width apart again or wider. Arms up, parallel with the ground. Palms are facing the ceiling. And slowly and gently start to move side to side. Soft knees again with this one. Strong core. So it's kind of awkward at first. The cool thing about this exercise is you're moving your spine laterally, so side to side, which is a movement your spine rarely gets, but really needs. So this is a great way to keep your back healthy. As an added bonus, you're toning and strengthening your obliques. And as you hold your arms up, you might notice they start to fire up as well. So you're toning and strengthening your upper body too. If you need a break at any point, you just drop your arms, roll your shoulders, rejoin when you're ready. If you'd like a bigger challenge, pick up the pace. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 3, 2, last one. Nice. Drop your arms, shoulder rolls. Let's do one more round of chair pose. And this time we're going to add weights if you want that extra challenge. If you don't, no need to grab them at this point. So once again, bring your big toes together so they're touching. Heels are a few inches apart so that your outsides of your feet are parallel with each other. Squeeze your knees so your inner thighs fire up and start to squat down. Again, the further you squat down, the more intense this one becomes. Grab your weights if you want them. If you're not into doing the arm movements, you can simply hold as we did before. Still an awesome strengthening pose. The arm movements just makes it more of a full body workout as we're getting our upper body involved. So if you're up for that, we're going to start with some flies. So you have soft elbows, arms are out in front of you. Inhale to prep, exhale open. Inhale, big exhale. Now as you do this, once again, you want to make sure your body weight is in your heels, not your toes. And you want to make sure you're not doing a big curve in your lower back. Instead, you tuck under, use your abs to support yourself in this position. Don't force your back to get into a position where it has to compensate for you. Take a break whenever you need it. Remember, you can take a break simply by standing, re-squatting when you're ready. Now, if you want to continue this arm movement, feel free. If you'd like a little different one, then drop your arms down, pull your elbows up by your rib cage. Extend out, and then elbows scrape your rib cage. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Your booty goes down and back. Belly button zips up. Inhale, exhale. Of course, you can pick up the pace if you want an even bigger challenge. So you got lots of options here. You tailor it to what you need tonight. Breaks are always okay. One final arm movement in this position if you're up for it. Tricep extension. So the next time your elbows are up, hold them there. Now extend and bend. Exhale, inhale. So try to keep your upper arm still while you hinge at your elbow. This really isolates your tricep, which is the back of your arms. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Hang on, we'll take a break after this. If you can, hold for 5, sit down and back. 4, protect your lower back. 2, last one. Nice, stand, shake it out. Very good job. Bring your feet hip width apart again. And on your next exhale, fold forward with your knees bent deeply. I'm going to drop my weights to the side here. And give yourself a little hug if that's available. So my chest is resting on my thighs. Squeezing my legs. Body weight is forward for this. So it's like the exact opposite of what we were just doing with chair. In forward fold, your body weight's actually in your toes, not your heels. One more breath here. Then on your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins and lengthen your upper body out parallel to the ground. Exhale, fold. Legs can be straight or bent. Inhale, soft knees come up, high prayer. Exhale, fold through heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. So your body weight goes out parallel with the ground. Feel your strength here. Belly button pulls up. You're lengthening out through the crown of your head. Then use your next exhale to fold like a rag doll. Make sure your knees are bent. Inhale, arms up, high prayer. Let's do this one more time. It's called half vinyasa. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen out. Exhale, fold. Soft knees. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a second. If you did set an intention to focus on during your time on the mat today, reconnect with that intention now. Regardless, take a deep breath. Blink your eyes open. Nice. We're going to move into Warrior 2. Again, you're going to have the option to add some weighted arm movements into Warrior 2 today. So if you're up for that challenge, grab your weights now. If you're not up for the challenge, no worries. So from the middle of your mat here, bring your right foot so it's parallel with the long end of your mat, and then step your left foot back so it's parallel with the short end of your mat. So in other words, your feet are perpendicular. Then lunge forward, right knee is bent over your right ankle. And if you've been doing my videos for any significant period, you know that the longer your stance is in Warrior 2, the more intense it becomes. So if you're new to this, make a shorter stance, your lunge isn't as deep. If you want a big challenge today, make a longer stance and you'll have a really deep lunge. So once you've found your position, then make sure your shoulders are over your hips. They're not over like this or leaning forward like this. You're really strong, perpendicular to the floor. If you're not interested in arm movements, then bring your arms up parallel to the ground. If you'd like to do some arm movements, find a cactus position. And then with or without the weights, as you hold in this strengthening lunge position, inhale to prep. Exhale, pull your elbows back and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And if you're up for it, we're going to do it rather fast tonight. Kind of get a little cardio work in here as we do weighted strengthening stuff. Now, if you need a break with your legs at any point, all you have to do is straighten your leg, re-lunge when you're ready to rejoin. Nice. Hang on if you can. 5, 4, elbows down and back. 3, 2, nicely done. Bring your hands into your chest, then drop your arms, straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes so they're parallel with your left. Do a couple shoulder rolls here. Deep breath. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So now, left toes turn so they're parallel with the long end of your mat. Right toes are parallel with the short end of your mat. You're deciding how long you want your stance, depending on how challenging you want this to be. Left knee bends over your left ankle. If you're not interested, well, let me say this before we start our arm movements. It's so important to focus on that Uddiyana Bandha. That whenever you hear the word bandha in yoga, that means lock. Your Uddiyana Bandha is your rib cage to pelvic lock. So this is what we did in chair pose. And the visual I want you to think of in Warrior 2 is you have a monkey tail. Pretend like your monkey tail is coming through your legs and you're pulling it up so it drops your pelvis. See if you can maintain that here in Warrior 2. It's going to keep your back safe and make this way more effective. So with that in place, arms come up like this. Or if you want to do the arm movements with or without the weights, find cactus arms. Inhale to prep. Exhale, elbows pull back and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So these cactus arms are an awesome way to bring strength and blood flow to your upper back, the space between your shoulder blades, which is a part of our body that often gets neglected and can cause poor posture and a lot of aches and pains. So you're doing your body a world of good when you can bring strength and blood flow there. Last 3, 2, nicely done. Bring your left toes in so they're parallel with your right. Bend your knees deeply, bring your weights to the ground. You probably won't need these anymore. Then roll up slowly. Do a couple big shoulder rolls, deep breath. And then we're gonna move to another standing series, again on our right side. So once again, right toes are parallel with the long end of your mat. Left toes are parallel with the short end of your mat. We're gonna start with triangle. So reach your arms up, parallel with the ground. We have a straight front leg, but there's a little micro bend here. So you're not locking your knee, you always have a soft knee. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, pretend like you're a big clock on the wall. Tick-tock your arms into this position. Now, my neck typically hurts if I look up, so I will often look down in triangle pose. You decide what feels best on your neck tonight. Again, you have a soft right knee. It's going to want to lock. Don't let that happen. Gently open your chest towards the ceiling. Belly button stays pulling towards your spine, so you're supporting yourself with your core even as you stretch. Deep breath. Now from here, bend your right knee over your right ankle, elbows on your thigh, left hand is above your shoulder. Now we're in side angle pose, so it's very similar to triangle. The biggest difference, or maybe the only difference, is that we're in a lunge instead of a straight-legged position. For more intensity with side angle, you're going to float your right fingertips, so they're on the inside of your right leg, and bring your left bicep by your ear. This is called extended side angle. Take a break whenever you need it. If possible, hold here for 3 more breaths. Let's do them together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose or your mouth. Inhale here. Exhale, gently open your chest towards the ceiling. Inhale. Strong exhale. As you do that, pull your belly button to your spine. Use those muscles to come up. Back to warrior 2. If you need a break, just straighten your front leg. If you don't, stay in the lunge. Feel your strength. Remember, Uddiyana Bandha, your rib cage to pelvic lock. That monkey tail you're pulling up. Right fingers gaze out through your right middle finger. Hang on here for 1 more breath if possible. Awesome, drop your arms. Turn your right toes so they're parallel with your left. Do a couple shoulder rolls. And we're gonna move to that right on the other side. So left toes are now parallel with the long end of your mat. Right toes are parallel with the short end. You decide your length. We'll start with triangle. Soft front knee, arms float up. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, tick-tock your arms. Nice. See what your neck needs. Then check in with your knee again. Make sure it's not locked. Core is strong as you open in your chest. Now with triangle, the further you come down, the more intense this becomes. So if you're up here tonight, that's just fine. You decide what you need, so you're feeling a nice stretch, a little discomfort, but no pain. 1 more breath here. And let's move into side angle pose. So bend your left knee over your left ankle, elbow starts on your thigh, right hand extends right above your right shoulder. Stay here. Or for a bigger challenge, find extended side angle. In that case, you're floating your left fingertips on the inside of your left thigh, and then your right bicep comes by your ear. So you're really lengthening your right side body, pushing through the the pinky toe side of your right foot, extending all the way out through your fingertips. Let's breathe here together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose or your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. You're doing great. Inhale here. Hold on the exhale. Zip in your belly like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. Use those muscles to come up on an inhale. Warrior two. Straighten your leg if you need the break. Stay in the lunge if you don't. Either way, feel your strength. Sweating and shaking are just fine. Tops of your shoulders drop away from your ears. You got this. We're almost there. Bright, wide fingers and hands. One more breath here in warrior two. Excellent job. Toe heel your feet together. Really nice. Until they're right under your hips. Do a couple big shoulder rolls. Deep breath. And then bring your right arm into a half bind. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And bring your left hand to your right ear. Don't pull, just place it here for a little extra weight. We'll stretch out our neck while everything is warmed up. Deep breath, soft knees again. On your next exhale, chin to your chest. Bring your head up. Switch sides, left arm into a half bind. Right ear to your right shoulder. Right hand to your left ear. Deep breaths. Strong core. Soft knees. On your next exhale, chin to your chest, head up, big shoulder rolls. Let's head down to the mat. Let me check my time here, see how we're doing. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna meet down, lying down on our back. Make sure both knees are bent as you roll to your back. That way you protect your lower back in the process of transitioning. Let's do a little Pilates ab work here before we end up with some final yoga stretches and Shavasana. So let's start with the single straight leg stretch. This is an awesome way to tone and strengthen your core, give the potential of a little cardio, and you get an awesome stretch in the back of your legs. So with that said, pretend like you have a bowl of water resting here on your core. Spill it towards your chest. So your lower back is grounded. Your goal now is to try to keep this part of your body, your pelvis, in this position the entire time. So it's almost like you have an anchor here. You're trying to use your muscles so nothing moves here as you do crazy things with your arms and your legs. So that's your number one goal. Pull your knees into your chest. Extend your left leg up. Hold behind your thigh, or for a bigger challenge, behind your calf. If you need a knee bend here, that's just fine. Your goal is just to lengthen as much as possible for you today. Then extend your right leg out. Inhale, pulse twice. Exhale, switch. Inhale, inhale, big exhale. Now the rule of thumb, as you may or may not know, for most Pilates exercises, is the bigger and the faster your movement, the more challenging it becomes. And that is simply because our number one goal is to stabilize our pelvis, as I just said. So as your movements get bigger and faster, it becomes more challenging to do that. So if you want to challenge yourself today, we're going to try to pick up the pace. However, always be mindful of that stabilization. If your belly button starts to pop up or your lower back, make your movement smaller or slower again. Now, a break is fine at any point. If you'd like to instead make things more challenging, then make your movement with your legs a bit more dynamic. Inhale, inhale, exhale, switch. So I really picked up the pace here. My movement is bigger, but my torso and my pelvis are still stable. Now, if you want to make this even more challenging, drop your arms by your hips and pick up the pace even more. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. So now we're not doing 2 pulses back. Just inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. legs are moving like scissors in the air. Take a break when you need it. However, if you're still looking for a big challenge, add your arms in. So left arm comes back as your right leg comes in. This takes a little coordination to start. I've practiced this many times. That's why it's relatively easy for me to get into it. But if you need to figure it out, no worries. Whatever version of this you're doing, do what you can for 2 more breaths. And once you finish those 2 breaths, take a well-deserved break. Nicely done. Wiggle your toes. Look side to side with your neck, with your head, I should say, to loosen up your neck. And then let's do one more abdominal exercise before we shift our focus to a cool down. And we're going to do the single leg stretch. So we just did the single straight leg stretch. Now we're going to do the single leg stretch, and the version of it we're going to do is a bicycle version. So with that said, stack your hands, bring them behind your head. And you're going to start moving your legs just as you would if you were riding a bike. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. So same rule is going to apply to this one as it did to the previous one. And that rule is the bigger your movement, the faster your movement, the more challenging it becomes to stabilize. And stabilization is your #1 goal. You're constantly doing whatever you can to keep your lower back grounded and belly button zipping like you're zipping up a tight pair of jeans. If you need to slow it down, do that. If you need to pick it up because you're looking for more cardio and a bigger strength challenge, do that. Take a break when you need it. If possible, hang on for 5, 4, 3, 2, excellent. Knees into your chest for a second. Wiggle your toes. And I kind of forgot to mention we got to go the other way. So, don't hate me. We got one more round of this. When you're ready for it, you're going to push out and extend up. So you're just reversing directions. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Now this one, as your leg is extended, as you push out, really think about lengthening out through your heel. So now, as we do this core work, we're also lengthening the back of our legs, which promotes a lot of flexibility. You got this. 3, 2, nicely done. Rest. Good job. Drop your feet down wide, let your knees tent in. So allow your lower back to release and relax. We're going to finish up here with a hip stretch and then the supine twist before we relax in Shavasana. So with that said, bring your arms into a cactus position. Untent your knees and cross your right leg over your left. We're going to start with what's called the hip pull. So take an inhale to prep. Then on your exhale, slowly drop your knees to the right. So what you're going to start to feel here is the weight of your top leg, in this case your right leg, pulling on your bottom hip. Both shoulders stay on the ground. Feel good to look side to side. Feel free to do that. Hold here for one more breath. Pull your belly button to your spine. Use the strength of your core and an inhale to bring your knees up slowly. On your exhale, slowly and gently drop your knees to the left. So now we're doing a supine twist. You did not switch the crossing of your legs. In other words, your right leg is still crossed over your left. So this stretch more than it being a hip pull, a hip stretch, it's more about the twist in your spine, in your back. So as I'm sure you're noticing, you feel it in different places. Once again, if it would feel good to look side to side, feel free to do that. Use your next inhale to come up slowly. Switch sides. Cross your left leg over your right. We're going to start with the hip pull. Take an inhale to prep. Exhale, knees to the left. Slowly and gently drop. So again, let the weight of your top leg pull on your bottom hip. Keep both shoulders glued to the ground. And then see what your neck needs. Does some movement feel good? Does looking up at the sky and the ceiling feel best? Maybe keeping your gaze over one shoulder or the other is what your neck needs tonight. On your next inhale, bring your knees up. And on a long, slow exhale, drop your knees to the right, supine twist. Breathe deeply. One more long, slow inhale and long, slow exhale here. And use an inhale to come up. Nicely done. Drop your feet wide, let your knees tent in. Bring your arms down at about a 45-degree angle away from your body, palms up. And then make sure your shoulders are not creeping up to your ears. Instead, you're sliding your shoulder blades down your back, pulling them towards your hips. So we're making our way here into our final resting pose, Shavasana, where your only intention is just to relax. So you can let your breathing go back to normal. You can close your eyes and relax your face. Just soaking up the benefits of everything you just did. If this leg position feels good, I'd encourage you to stay. Another option with Shavasana is to extend your legs out mat width apart and to let your pinky toes fall towards the ground. But if that doesn't feel good on your back, then stay with that tented position. And that does not feel good on my back today, so I'm going to hang out here. So I'm going to be silent for a minute or two, let you rest and enjoy this. After that, I will slowly bring you out of this and we'll end our workout together. So with that said, enjoy. When you're ready to bring your awareness back to this time and place, start to notice any sounds you hear around you. Maybe you hear the hum of your air conditioner or refrigerator. Maybe you hear birds outside. When it feels right, slowly make your way to a fetal-like position, which means you simply roll to your side with both knees bent. Use your arm as a pillow. Rest here for a moment or two. And if you've done my workouts before, you know this is my favorite part in my practice, to add in a little gratitude. So if that resonates with you, take a moment or two to think of a few things you're thankful for. Then on your next inhale, keep your knees bent to protect your back, and gently push yourself up to any seated position that's comfortable for you. Roll your shoulders a few times. And then regardless of the seated position you're in, take a sec to strengthen your posture. So just sit up tall and strong, open chest. Bring your palms together and pull your thumbs into your sternum, so hands into heart center. Drop your chin, close your eyes, and reconnect with the intention that you set at the beginning of our class. You may even want to ask yourself if this is an intention you can take off the mat this evening. Take one more deep breath here. And then let's end this lovely practice with a beautiful blessing. So bring your hands to the space between your eyes. May you have peace in your thoughts today. Hands to your lips. May you have peace in your words. And hands to your heart. May you have peace in your heart and actions. And I'll end by saying namaste, which simply means the good and the light within me recognizes and honors that same good and light within you. Namaste.